Hello, self, Principal Johnson. Mr. Jen here with Chapter 14, Reflection. Um, Bit of a boo-boo in Chapter 14. Not really that big of a deal, but I've gotten messages about it, so it was a pain in the butt. Where is it? On my notes here. Yep, okay, 14.2, and it was in both sections, Advanced and, Section 2. In Lesson 2, talks a lot about industry in the North, and it says in the textbook, by the year 1840, the average workday in a factory was 11.4 hours. And my lesson, which is usually a slightly shorter summary of what's in the textbook, I said, by the year 1840, the average workday was almost 12 hours long. But then in the quiz, at the end of the lesson, there's a question that asks how long the average workday was, and I can't even remember what it originally said because I've changed it. But the short is 11.4 was in there. I think that was the original correct answer, but one of the other options was 12 hours. So depending on who read the book or who just saw the lesson, there's a lot of confusion on what the correct answer was. This quiz question is also in the test. So I sent out a message to the kids. I was like, listen, there's a lot of confusion on this. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. The correct answer is going to be 11.4 hours, but there's so many kids, there's still confusion. I went back into the lesson and just changed it so that in both the book and the lesson it says 11.4 hours. So next year, when I upload this lesson into the thing, I also change the test. It just won't be a problem. I also changed the test question in the quiz and the test so that 11.4 is the correct answer, and there's no other answers even really close to it. There's no more 12-hour option. So a bit of confusion on this one, and that was my fault for not summarizing as accurately and then making a quiz question that was the two answers were too close. So depending on who read what would change the correct answer in their mind. So not really that big of a deal, but a logistical error on my part that hopefully is revised so it will not happen again next year. I don't remember having this problem last year. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember. So that was the big thing for this chapter, the big fix. The virtual lesson was long because it was a lot of information, but it worked out. It was fine. I didn't have any problems, but it's a shorter. It is a longer chapter. 5 days because career awareness was thrown in there, which won't happen next year because from what I understand, career awareness will be in the sort of starting module, the onboarding module next year, instead of kind of being thrown in here, in the middle marking period, or beginning of marking period 3. Whatever. I was happy to do it. Just one day. Easy enough. Let's see, MP2 ended. Other than that, basic upgrades to the introduction, vocab, each lesson. I found that the quality of the videos, the further I get into the year, which is the trend usually, gets better. Sometimes, though, depending on where you are in the year, maybe I was having a bad day. Some of the videos I'm less excited, and I'll redo those, but a lot of them are just, they're good. And they have no references to dates or anything, just solely to the lesson. And so they're totally recyclable. So those are, but then they're the ones that just need a little more excitement. So I redo those. No work dues. Oh yeah, this was a long chapter because of the 2 study hall days and career awareness. So it took a while. And the in-service day. A lot going on in the month of January. And then it went well. Let's take a look at the quiz, or the test. Check that speed grader. Was there an essay on this one? I just don't remember. It wasn't. In fact, there's an oddball 1-pointer to make it even. Average grade 97. That's for advanced. Let's save some time because I had the same problems in advanced as I did, and upgrades in advanced as section 2. We'll just knock out both with one video. Yeah, I had kids messaging me from advanced and section 2 because I had the same quiz for that. That one about the work hours. Alright, and the section 2 kids, 83. Not as good. Not as good. Was it also 55 points? I think it was, because there's no essay question. It was. So there you go. I guess that fits academic trends. The advanced kids would do better on the test. So that's the module in a nutshell. Spirit Reform is a short one, and then we're bumping pretty rapidly into the Civil War. But it continues. It goes well. I have the same kids show up for virtual lessons every week. Sometimes I'll get a new kid enrolled, and they'll come. And that's how I bump my numbers. I haven't really lost anyone, though, since the beginning of the year in terms of attendance for virtual lessons. So that's good. All right, that's chapter 14. Kids did the test 2 days ago, well, yesterday. So some kids are still filtering in. Those averages might change a little bit. But for the most part, they're in. All right, that's it. Have a good one. Make sure you double check to make sure that problem was resolved. I'm going to double check again now.